Things I'm insecure about as somebody who sees themselves as a pretty confident person. Everyone has their own things that they're insecure about, and I feel like they're not always talked about on social media because it is such a highlight reel. So I thought, why not just like dish out all my issues today? I don't necessarily want to call them issues because I do love myself, but these are just things that I struggle with personally. The first one is just not looking my age, because this has been really heavy on my mind recently. I never noticed this one before I did social media, but all of my comments always say like, oh, I thought you were 15 or 16, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but then I started spiraling and thinking like, oh, no one's ever gonna take me seriously because I look like a teenager, and I'm actually turning 23 next month. There are times after I realized this where I would stop wearing color, because I thought that wearing pink and stuff would make me look even younger than I am, when in reality I should have just been wearing whatever I want. I did that a lot in college, but I'm back on my pink bullshit now. Like, it's my favorite color. I've never been the biggest fan of my nose. And it's so silly because it's only because when I was younger, like 2 people told me that my nose was flat. I'm obviously a lot more comfortable with her now, but as I've grown up, I've noticed that I have a bump when I turn to the side, and it's so tiny that like nobody would even notice it but myself, but I notice it. And then I don't like it. I've also always been super insecure about my rosacea and always looking like I have the weirdest blush placement of all time. I did gymnastics when I was younger, and the girls there would always ask me why I'm wearing blush to practice, and I was like, I'm literally not. Even if I was, that shouldn't be a problem, but because of that, the first time my mom ever let me like wear makeup, I was just wearing so much foundation all over my cheeks. But still, to this day, I still find myself trying to cover it up some days. I was always a super quiet kid, and then as I got older, I became more outspoken and like loud, and a lot of the time I don't care what people think, and then a lot of the time I'm like, wow, am I like way too outspoken? Like, should I not have said these things? It's like not having social anxiety in the present of the social setting, but when you get home, you just rethink everything you said. Never like trusted men growing up, and I still don't, and that started with my dad. And then obviously like I had my heart broken by dating men, so it's just very hard for me to like let a man in no matter how good of a person they are, which that is something I'm still working on to this day. I always go back and forth between loving my boobs and then wanting a boob job. I was never blessed in the tits and ass department. I feel like that also contributes sometimes to me looking so young. I used to hate my eye shape growing up, and now it's my favorite feature on my face. Now that I'm done listing all those things out, I want you to take a step back and realize that you've probably never thought these things about me. And I post on the internet every single day. And that means nobody's looking into your insecurities as hard as you are. So even though it's okay to have off days, just make sure you're being kind to yourself. Okay, love you. Bye.